Hi, this is Jeff Roars, and I am here with Nigel Travis, who's President and CEO of Papa John's, and also Bob Ford, who's the Director of Online Marketing. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Pleasure.
Nigel, we just pulled you off stage from your keynote here at Connections '08 with ExactTarget, and just fascinated what you guys are doing in terms of all the different channels that you're allowing your customers to order through. Can you talk a little bit about that evolution that has led you to offer them phone and SMS and online and all of these things?
Yeah, it's been an interesting development because traditionally in our pizza industry, customers have phoned the store, they remember the number, whatever it is, and that's been the way it's been for a very long time. But like in many other industries, technology has brought about change, and in 2001 we developed an online capability, and probably it's in the last 3 years that we've really marketed it very strongly, particularly when we recruited Bob, who's got a lot of experience in the industry. And our aim is to effectively go to wherever our customers are, whatever they're doing, whatever time of day, and make it easy for them to order from Papa John's. So that's led a whole raft of initiatives, from introducing text ordering, the mobile web, making our website even more easy to operate. We introduced things like repeat your last order, plan ahead, where you can order up to 3 weeks ahead. You can store your credit card, and I think this is a trend that we have to continue. I think we've got a lot of opportunities to take this into new avenues. Areas like games are a clear opportunity, because we find a lot of people already come to us via the browser on their particular game console. So we're excited about channels, and I'm sure as new technology develops, there's going to be all kinds of emerging channels.
Excellent. Follow-up question for you, Bob. How do you prioritize these new technologies? Because I imagine you've got to kind of try and fail and see what works a little bit.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I think it all is trial and error right now as far as new technologies go. Kind of a follow-up a little bit to what Nigel said was, companies all the time talk about listening to their customer. It's really how we decide which channels we're going to pursue. We sit back and we listen and watch our customers. Walk on any college campus these days and see what people are doing. Yeah. They walk around, they're texting. They're on the mobile web. We know that that's the next generation of pizza eaters. It's the current generation of pizza eaters as well, but those are going to be the families that are the stronghold of the Papa John's brand.
Sure.
So, if we cater to them in the fashion in which they prefer, we're going to be all the better for it. So prioritization is really set by the consumers.
Well, let me ask a follow-up, because one of the other things you brought out in your keynote today was this notion of beginning to put your franchisees in more direct control of that messaging. I imagine for some franchise organizations that's rather terrifying, because as you talked about, Bob, these folks are running a business. Sending email or handling that messaging piece of it isn't a priority. How are you educating those folks at the franchise level? How are you empowering them to have a more personal relationship with their customers and subscribers at that local level?
I think that's a great question. And a few of the comments I made in my remarks is the restaurant industry, like most industries, is fairly traditional, and many restaurants just don't see the opportunity to use technology in terms of online or email. And yet there have been some people that we've dragged into the 21st century.
Yeah.
And I think the way I would describe it is by controlled empowerment. In other words, we set up templates, we do a lot of training, a lot of counseling. Bob has numerous phone calls a day from franchisees, because franchisees are our customers as well. I mean, if we don't have happy, satisfied franchisees who believe they're well led, because I think it's up to us to lead, we will have a system that becomes fragmented and doing different things. I think so far we've managed to motivate them. There is clearly a challenge about how aggressive one needs to be, because one of the interesting things about our industry is sometimes online is actually more expensive than offline, which is the reverse of what happens in other industries. So we think is a big opportunity to become more aggressive and to drive more customers to online, and with that, greater frequency and greater ticket and greater customer satisfaction. So, Bob spends a lot of time doing equations to demonstrate that that model really does work and help their bottom line.
Yeah. So a marketer who has the math background. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a part of the requirements for having this job. One of the things Nigel said is, it's controlled. Had we gone out to our system and said we really want you to embrace local email, and just given them the traditional email tool that we use, we have email professionals in our group. In the stores they don't have those email professionals. We came to ExactTarget. We developed a tool that was perfect for someone who's used to running a pizza store. It's a very simplistic step-by-step. Now you can control your local email. And the thing we always heard them say is, you don't know what my customers want. Based on the success we've seen of the franchise sends, they're right. We don't. We have a feel for it. We do a good job of we've done a good job from a corporate perspective, but absolutely, when they do it on the local level, they do know what they're doing.
And they're actually shaking hands with those folks.
You got it.
So last question, you nibbled around the edges of this one, and I found it great that you addressed this up front. We as marketers tend to define spam in a legalese kind of way, like unsolicited commercial email. One of the things in our subscribers rule kind of education, our philosophy is, look, spam is something that is defined by the consumers. It's defined as whatever they don't want. And how are you controlling and testing that across these different media that you're working with, be email or text messaging and other things?
You just said it. It's testing.
Okay.
There's a lot of lessons to be learned. When we sent our first text message, we had a lot of complaints. You absolutely have to have the systems in place to get people off that list. It's even though they opted in, double opted in. When they tell you no, I didn't, you better get them off. They didn't. In their mind, they didn't, and therefore they didn't. So it really is. We test, we learn, we test, we learn, and we'll figure out what the right frequency is for a program like text, just as we've done for email.
Excellent. So, would you say subscribers rule? Can you do one of these?
Subscribers rule.